Facebook, I'm live on YouTube and LinkedIn, and I'm live on Instagram. All right, so welcome to our daily live in December. And today is our first day of 12 days of Taxmas. And so, what 12 days of Taxmas is, it's going to be giving you guys some specials, some discounts on things that you guys need before the end of the year so you guys can get these things prepared and be ready for tax season. And we are kicking off day one today, and we're going to go every day until Christmas. And so today we're going to be talking about the importance of accurate bookkeeping on your tax preparation. And because you guys know, I like to talk all things taxes. Bookkeeping and taxes, they do go hand in hand. So we are going to kick it off with the importance of bookkeeping. So who am I? My name is Atia Brown. I am the owner of the Savvy Accounting Firm. We are a full service CPA firm where we are savvy at solving your tax issues. And with that said, I want to talk about what accurate bookkeeping and how it plays into your tax preparation. So the first thing I want to talk about is the role that bookkeeping has in financial health and your compliance. So what that means is basically, while I love to talk all things tax, bookkeeping, when you're a small business owner, bookkeeping is the foundation of what you're going to be doing for your tax preparation. So getting ready for compliance with tax season, your bookkeeping is going to be the first line of defense that your foundation is going to be built on. And so you want to make sure that your bookkeeping is accurate. And what that means is that the numbers that your business is generating is going to be directly impacting the tax return and what you have to pay in taxes, right? So you need to not only know what you made in your business. So I say this all the time, small business owners, they tend to know what they brought in. They tend to tell you that they were 6 figures this year, 7 figures. And so that's what they earn. That's the revenue that they earn from selling their product or service. And they seem to have a grasp on that. But what most small business owners, I won't say all or a lot, most of them don't have a full grasp of their expenses, their deductions, what they're able to take in order to create their net income or their net loss, depending on if their revenues are higher than their expenses or vice versa. But the reason that understanding your bookkeeping and how it plays into your tax return is important is because that's the number that you're going to be taxed on. So when you were an employee and you had your salary, you made your income at your job, your employer took out your taxes before you got your net take-home pay. But as a small business owner, you actually have generated revenue and you actually are going to pay for expenses and you're going to pay taxes on that net amount. So you need to know those numbers. You need to know that they're accurate so that your tax return can be filed accurately. So compliance of filing your tax return, making sure that it's accurate, that's going to be dependent on your bookkeeping as a small business owner. And so the first thing I want to say is that you need to understand how bookkeeping plays in to your taxes so that you can be ready for tax season. The second thing I want to talk about when it comes to how accurate bookkeeping is going to help you in your tax preparation is common bookkeeping mistakes and how to avoid them. So the first thing I want to say as common bookkeeping mistakes is essentially not having your bookkeeping done. So a lot of times people think that it's not something that they need to keep track of. It's not something that they need to put on the top of mind because they're good at selling and that's all that they care about. But in reality, that's not true, because if you only focus on the selling and you don't focus on the bookkeeping, you are going to be paying more in taxes than you need to. So making sure that you don't put it on the wayside, that you don't ignore your bookkeeping just because you're not good at it, just because it's not part of your ministry, it's not something that you want to keep doing. You need to make sure that you stay on top of your bookkeeping. So ignoring your bookkeeping is not the thing to do. So that's the common mistake number one that I see small business owners making. Common mistake number two is thinking that they can do it on their own. There's a lot of things that you do in your business and you DIY it, and I have no issues with DIY. But if you don't understand bookkeeping, then chances are you're going to potentially mess it up. And so thinking that you can just DIY it because you DIY so much in your business and it's successful, thinking that you can just DIY it because it's bookkeeping and you think that it's not important, and thinking you could do it on your own. So making sure that you have someone that you can reach out to. So working with a firm like ours or even if you just get a consultation with a firm to let you know that you're doing things the right way. The third mistake that I see small business owners making when it comes to their bookkeeping is not having like a cloud-based accounting software. So QuickBooks is the one that most people know, but it's not the only one out there, right? You need to understand that there are other services that you can use instead of QuickBooks, because QuickBooks was created by accountants for accountants. And I like to tell people that if you are a DIYer, but you don't have a strong grasp of accounting, then it might confuse you. So you might want to look into other software tools that do the same thing, but it's not going to be as complicated as QuickBooks. And so you can avoid misusing. And if you're only using Excel, that might not be the easiest thing. So looking for a sophisticated software, that's going to help you. The third point that I want to talk about when it comes to accurate bookkeeping and tax preparation is one of my favorite topics, which is tax planning. And tax planning is really the act of taking the tax code and figuring out how it best fits your situation so that you can reduce the taxes that you pay. And because bookkeeping is the foundation of the tax season and what tax returns you file and your tax liability, having accurate bookkeeping is going to directly impact what you are paying in your taxes. So it's going to impact how we can actually help you save on your taxes. So we first need to know, if we're going to be working on a tax plan with you and we want to save you at least $20,000, we need to know what your tax liability is. And that's going to be the circle that we were talking about, where bookkeeping is going to be the first part of that. So that's a good question, and I will get to that right at the end. I just have one more point, and it's going to tie into it. So making sure that your bookkeeping is sufficient and your bookkeeping is going to be able to help dictate what your tax liability is going to be, then that's going to help us plan so we can save what your taxes are going to be. But we have to know the starting point. We have to know what your liability is assessed to be so that we can look for some savings. The fourth point that I want to talk about is understanding that there's different tools and software that are going to help you with your bookkeeping. So I talked about cloud-based accounting software like QuickBooks. There's another one called Xero, Xero, and I just find that that's more DIY and user-friendly. So if you are going to DIY it, I just feel like Xero is a little bit more user-friendly because it's going to talk to you kind of in layman terms, whereas QuickBooks is going to talk in accounting terms. So that's something that I like to, point out. Then there's FreshBooks. There are several others. If you guys want to get other suggestions of tools to use, like other software, hit me up in the comments and I can send you guys some suggestions. But some tips and tools that when it comes to helping you with your bookkeeping is to get in the habit of connecting your accounts to the software that you're going to use so that all of your transactions are going to be categorized and all of your transactions are going to be accounted for. So that's the first step that you want to make sure that you're doing. The second thing is a tip that I tell my clients is to understand that they don't make receipts the way they used to. So long are the days of, shoebox accounting where you can take your receipts, put them in a box, and then at next year, take them to your tax professional and have them sort through everything. I'm telling you, those receipts are going to fade. If you don't get into the habit of getting on the cloud or digital copies, you are going to miss out on deductions. So I tell my clients all the time to create a separate account. So even if that account is invoices at the Savvy Accountant or receipts or whatever you want to call it, get into the habit of making digital copies of all of your receipts as soon as possible, jotting down what the receipt is for so that you have the information when you scan the copy of it, and then you email it to that email address. So you now have access to all of those receipts when you need them. Because I like to tell people, and people need to know this, is that when you're filing your tax return, all of those receipts don't need to be part of your tax return filing, right? But if you do get questioned, if they come to you for follow-up to justify some of those expenses, that's where you're going to need your receipts. That's where you're going to need your invoices. So you want to make sure that you have them somewhere where it's easy for you to get a hold of, and you can easily download them, easily print all of them out when it's needed. But trying to rely on receipts as they give them to you, they are going to fade. They don't make receipts the way they used to. I don't know why, but The reality is you want to make a habit of creating like a digital cloud-based file cabinet of all of those receipts so that you have them when you need them, because chances are you're going to need them. Especially as small business owners, you want to make sure that you get into the habit of doing that as soon as you can. Most cloud-based accounting softwares are going to allow you to upload those receipts to the actual software. So you can scan those receipts and upload it to your QuickBooks. And so, yeah, so just get into the habit of making sure that you can track all of that, and then that's good to go. So those are the 4 things that I want to talk about. Come on and talk about the importance of bookkeeping and what it does for your tax preparation and how you can get ready for tax season. And because we are in our 12 days of Taxmas, our day 1 is actually what we call our reconstruction or cleanup bookkeeping. So you can get cleanup bookkeeping for a full year, and you can use it for 2022. Some people are more behind than others, or you can use it for 2023. So you can get a full year of bookkeeping cleanup. And right now it is at 40% off. So if you guys go to the link in my bio, or I can put it here. I think it's like, so it's www. But I don't know if links work here. I'm not sure if links work on Instagram, even if I like pin it. Yeah, I don't even know if links work here, but you can get our cleanup bookkeeping for 40% off. That is our first day of 12. That's our first day of 12 days of Taxmas. That's our discount today. So make sure you get your bookkeeping in order, because tax season is right around the corner. And when I say right around the corner, we are December 11th. So we don't have much time left in this current year. So you want to make sure that you get that. And I think we have 1 or 2 left where we do a tax analysis for you as well. So you'll get like a year-end tax assessment. I think there's 2 left from that. And yeah, so click the link in my bio, or if this is clickable, you can click there. The link, I will drop the link for my YouTube and my LinkedIn people, because you're not on Instagram, so you can't see that link that I just posted there. But I did get a question. So bookkeeping software suggestions. So from what I know, QuickBooks does have a Canadian version, so you're able to use QuickBooks. So QuickBooks is able to be used in Canada as well. I will look for other options the same way that I gave them another option for Xero. I'll look to see if there's other options on the Canadian side, but I'm pretty sure QuickBooks Online is available in Canada and in the US. And if not, I'll let you know another option, but I'm pretty sure it's available in Canada for the person that asked that question. But yeah, so that was our live today, the importance of bookkeeping and what it has on your tax preparation. Tax season is right around the corner, so you need to get your bookkeeping done. So take advantage of our day 1 of our 12 days of Taxmas, which is our cleanup bookkeeping, and you can use it for 2022 or 2023. And we can get your bookkeeping done, and we can make sure that it's accurate so that your numbers are accurate so that you are not going to overpay on your taxes. So if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys tomorrow for day 2 of our 12 days of Taxmas. I will see you later. Bye. And